Okay, so we started the recording of our Fire Flow group. And I just wanted to be available to you guys to see if, okay, ask Chloe and Maya, to see if you guys have any questions and to also get a little bit of feedback from you about how you've been feeling. Have you noticed any differences? What have you been doing? So we can just kind of take turns going around, give your a little introduction about yourself, because not everybody knows each other, and we'll go from there. Do you want to start, Robin, since you were the first one on?
Okay. Who's on here that knows? Everybody knows me, I think, so.
It's okay. Just give us a quick, like, I'm Rob, whatever.
Okay, hey everyone, I'm Robin. Where am I now? What week am I on? I'm going into ovulation week, I think it is. I don't get my period anymore. So
You're following the moon, yeah. Linda Marie is too.
Exactly. So otherwise, it's just been, my system is so erratic. Like, I think I told you like 3 weeks ago when I first started, I started getting spotting, and I thought that was just so bizarre because with the moon cycle, I actually started getting a heavy spotting like that day of, and I'm like, what the hell is happening? But since then, I've had spotting continuously. So it's just, it's my age, it's everything, right? Everything's cycling through.
Because how old are you again, Robin? 50-some? 52? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm full blown into menopause. So because of that, it's just everything. Like right now, it's just, it's brutal. So yeah, the hormones are all over the place. Yeah. Yeah.
And so, have you noticed any changes at all? Like, did taking a week off to do yoga during that week, did you feel like that helped you at all? Like, what are your thoughts?
I felt it did fine. It was good. It did help a lot with the muscles and that part of it. And it just, but again, like I'm still getting irregular spotting. So it's just, and I'm finding like drinking more water is helping as well, just because I do find that on the days that I get like the heavy spotting more, I guess I'm really bloated. Like the symptoms are there, but I'm not actually getting the period.
Okay.
So it's just, yeah, it's a weird, yeah, I can't even explain it. So it just feels like, it actually feels like I'm getting my period, and it's super, super, like it's going to be so heavy, but nothing's there.
Okay.
It's just like, yeah, that's the best way to explain it. So it's just, it's very messed up. Yeah, okay. So I've just been really conscious of what I'm eating and everything. So, but yeah.
Okay. It's a progress. And I know it's like, I remember, well, in my, you guys may have read in my one thing, like my mom told me that she actually said between 40 to 50 were her hardest years.
Okay.
In that like perimenopausal phase.
Yeah.
And I think that that's an easier thing to control because, you know, again, menopause is natural and it's part of our life. And I think it's just like understanding going through these things and through these symptoms and being gentler on ourselves about it can kind of help to lessen some of the symptoms, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, Linda Marie, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm more here to listen and learn than speaking about me. But one thing I can share with you girls, it's that the moon cycle works very well for me. I mean, I think it's tomorrow night. It's the moon, the full moon, and I'm all woo-hoo-hoo and ready to start everything. And 2 weeks ago, I was more down, and to be honest with you, it really plays with my mood, this cycle. But now that I can recognize that I'm going with this, when it's the week that the moon, sorry for my poor English, guys, I'm a French
No, you're doing great.
I recognize that I shut my mouth. Instead of saying what passed through my mind, I know that it's not maybe the good week for me, so I'm like, and don't say anything. But like this weekend is the time to share how I feel, because I know it's the good timing. And the other thing is to drink water before my coffee and to do the exercise before my coffee. My husband is like, oh yeah, shut your mouth. Anyway, to drink the water before the coffee, it's very good, and I feel more energized. And
Chloe, can you put her on?
Yeah.
Awesome. Linda Marie actually reached out to me because she was mentioning her mom actually was telling her a little bit about how. Just a second, sorry. Chloe's gonna put you on. Mama, come get you. Yes, I'm on a call. Chloe, please. And her mom actually told her, like, you still cycle. And like, some women don't believe me. It's like, as women, we have this cycle regardless if you're bleeding or not. Like, and if you're suppress your period because you're on birth control, or if you are in menopause, you still have this cycle, and you cycle with the moon. And it's so cool. And when you start to recognize it and you start to embrace it and appreciate it, you can really just structure your life around it. Like, I always like I always feel like, so for me with my business, for example, I know that during like that ovulation phase or the full moon, like that's when I'm going to, invite more people and do my live videos, and like I'm putting myself out there. That's when you want to be like more social and like say everything that you want to say. And like during that menstrual phase, you're going to close yourself off a little bit more, and it's okay to turn in and to reflect and to just create quietly. And you're just like consuming, you're taking things in, and you can adapt this to like anything in your life, really. And it's just like small tweaks. Like, of course, like a lot of us in our busy lives, whether we're moms or taking care of other people or taking care of pets, like you can't ever completely turn off or adapt. Like, you're going to always have to be available. But sometimes if you just recognize it and give yourself that room, that space to like to be where you are in your cycle and in your flow, then you can just be more natural and feel good about it. And you can be okay with those things happening, and you don't have to be so hard on yourself, because sometimes it's like things are going so well, and all of a sudden we feel like everything's falling down, and it's like you don't realize that it's actually because like your body is cycling on this monthly cycle. So it's pretty cool. All right, Candace, would you like to share anything?
Hi, I'm Candace. I'll be 38 this year. So I still get a cycle, and I am just finishing my menstrual week, and it's been weird. I thought I would really go stir crazy not exercising this week, because that's kind of usually my mental health 30 minutes or 45 minutes, but it's been really nice, actually. I do feel like it's been less stress, like really kind of relaxing this week. So that's good. I definitely didn't quite make it enough to keep my mouth shut last week, but I call it my honesty week, because that's
There you go.
that's when I'll tell you what I really think. But otherwise, it's good. I don't know. It's been
Awesome.
good. Did
And
my
I know
meal
what you
planning
mean.
today for next week.
Awesome. Yeah, I know what you mean, because for me, I think that was the hardest part. Like, I've always been such a fitness person, and I used to run marathons. I was running up to like 5 full marathons a year. Like, fitness is my passion. I could be at the gym for 3 hours and it wasn't a struggle. Like, I loved doing it. But once I had kids, it was more of a time thing. And so now I like the quick and efficient workouts, but still getting that like super intense, like sweat session was like something I really looked forward to. But then, every time menstrual week came around and I was struggling so bad, I had to try something different. And so I decided to give it a try and try slowing down. Like, I was someone who hated yoga. Like, it was a struggle to do, but I've noticed that it just did so much for me. So I tried to turn it that way. And then as soon as, even coming towards the end of menstruation, as soon as I'm getting a little bit more energy, I'll allow myself to do a little bit more. But forcing myself to slow down, it just reduces a lot of stress that you sometimes didn't even want to admit was there. And because, regardless of even though exercise is a stress relief, it is also a stressor. It produces cortisol. So whether it's good stress or bad, sometimes our body doesn't know that. And so it depends on how we're processing it and how we're processing other things. So
Yeah, in the past, I would say that like the exercise during my menstrual week has relieved like cramping symptoms.
mhm.
But I have to say I really haven't had any at all, but which like that's not uncommon for me, but yeah, so it's been good. Yay.
Awesome. Yeah, and I really know. So I'm turning 42 this summer, and I really started noticing things. I had Leia when I was 39. I got my period back from her 9 months after she was born. So even though I was still breastfeeding, got my period, it came in hot and heavy. And like since then, so it's been almost the 3 years where it's like, I feel like my menstrual cycles were just like harder to deal with. And I never really had issues before. Or like if I had cramps, I'd do a workout and I'd feel better. And I thought that that was fine. So it's interesting as we, you know, as we do get older, it starts to affect us more, and our body isn't as young and resilient. We're like an old classic Cadillac, you know, we got to handle ourselves a little bit more gently than maybe we used to. So, okay, awesome. Is anybody, what was the question I was going to ask? Has anybody tried any of the recipes that were given? Anything that you really enjoyed that you want to share with others, or anything like that? Not yet. Linda Marie's a big cook. Have you tried? You've tried some things. What's been your favorite thing so far?
It's so hard for me to put all what I think in one sentences that everybody will understand. But the thing I can say, it's usually because I'm on the containers with the
Portion fix?
BUD. I really like it. And I don't go much than 2 yellow. And if I have wine, I add 2 more yellow during the weekend. So it's fine. But the week before, I think it's the luteal, or I don't remember.
Yep, the week before is luteal, yeah.
Yeah, you can have much more carbs. So I didn't even look at it. I was eating and felt so good, like no pressure. And when I wrote you, like, is it okay? Am I going wrong? You said, just love yourself, enjoy. And the word you just said before, embrace yourself. I love it, you know, to think all the time what you have to eat and to get caught in no, it's not life, you know. And I like this phase. Then you can add more glucid.
Candace, I think you mentioned that too. You added more food and then you were like, oh, I didn't have as many cravings. I think you mentioned that to me in one of your things too, right?
And my mood
I added like a whole meal in my luteal week. And I made it through the menstrual phase with like 0 sugar cravings. And again, in this cycle, like it's just been, it's been really easy. Like I really have noticed that my sugar cravings are basically gone.
That's awesome. Yeah, like
and the week after you get, whoops, sorry.
Yeah,
you get fixed. The week after you're like, okay, I'm over the craving for the glucid, the carbs in English.
Yeah.
So you go back on the containers and you're fine. I really found it very cool for me.
Awesome. Yeah, because when you can just plan for that, and if you're giving yourself that extra food, your body is getting the energy that it needs. It's not going to go try and ask for more, right? It's actually crazy the amount of women that I work with that when I first start working with them, they're not eating enough. People restrict so much, and when we do that, our body goes into this state of emergency and it stores everything you eat, doesn't care what it is, and just keeps it stored because it's afraid of when am I going to get my next meal, when am I going to get my and it just stores it all. Whereas if you're eating smaller meals throughout the day and you're giving yourself enough fuel and you're adding a little bit more when your body's burning more, you'd think like, oh, your body's burning more, it's going to make you lose weight, and it's actually making you gain weight because you end up like starving yourself for a week and then going all in on all the sugar cravings during menstruation, and then you're gaining back what you just lost, and it just becomes like this crazy cycle. Whereas if you just allow your body a little bit more of that food that it needs, it's going to just keep processing like usual, and it's going to keep going down that gradual line. So okay,
yeah,
awesome.
I really like that part of the program so far, that I generally feel that things are just kind of steady state. Like I don't feel the ups and downs as much.
Awesome. Great. Does anybody have any other questions or comments at all? No.
Well, sorry again. I really like when you told me to do it before 9 o'clock. Like to go on a routine, I'm not good at all. I'm motivated. I wake up and I'm like, okay, today is going to be my day. Maybe I'm going to do 2 workouts, but at the end I'm like, oh, what did I do? I run to get the dogs, to get the kids, to, some bicycle, but to do what BOD proposed, I'm like, oh, shoot. But when it's before 9 o'clock and the 10 minutes I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, I did something good out of my schedule. So this I really like.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, like I always try to say to people, like if you can't do anything else, give yourself that 10 minutes a day of something for you. And I've talked to a lot of people before about this, like even though we're doing, outside being active and doing things, it's important to do some of these other structured workouts, mostly for our bone density. And as women, and again, as we age, it's so important to have a little bit of strength work in there so we can keep our bones strong for longevity. And it becomes a little bit of a mind game too, when you feel like, okay, I was able to check this off my list. I was able to like get my workout in and keep myself accountable to that. Even if it's just 10 minutes, it's still something. It's still better than nothing. And it's just like sometimes when I work with women that really struggle with doing it every day, I'm like, then go with the program that's 4 days a week. Or if they're like the workouts are too long, okay, then go with the 10-minute one. Like there really is something for everyone. And it's just a matter of figuring out what that's going to be for you and what's going to work best for you. Now we have the new Shaun T workout coming out, and it's like I thought for sure I was not going to do that one, but I tried the sample and I was like, oh wait, this is kind of fun. And it's like a spring, like a light, like it's got music, you're dancing, like it's fun. And there's weight days. It alternates between dance and weight. So I'm like, maybe I will do it. We'll see how that goes. But it's important to like find something that you like. I know Candace and Robin, like they partnered up the last challenge where they were both doing the same workout. So it's like getting that little bit of extra accountability that helps sometimes too. You've got another buddy in the group or like every day they're showing up and doing this program. You're looking forward to seeing them post and seeing how they did, and you can help keep each other accountable. So I'm glad you guys are, finding the time, the camaraderie in there too. So that's good.
But
Okay.
Where do you girls do your workout during the day? I'm wondering.
Where or when?
When or how, or I mean, not how, sorry, the question, how would I?
Like, how do you fit it? Like, so for me,
Yes,
I get up.
how do you fit it in a day?
Yeah, I get
After
up. I have
work, before work, during lunchtime?
I do
I
mine
literally
morning.
schedule it in my day. It's a scheduled thing in my day, which is the only way I can really not override it with something else, because I always have other things that I should be doing. So I book it. When the kids were in school, I would do it in the afternoon before I pick them up. But when I'm at work, I do it at night. I work too early in the morning. I don't know how people work out at 4 o'clock in the morning, like Natalka, and like that's amazing. So.
Mm-hmm. And Robin, you do yours in the evening too, right?
Well, normally, I work 8 to 4:30, Monday to Friday. So for me, as soon as I come home from work, that's just what I do. I come home from work, change, and then like to the basement, and then I work out right then and there. Because then if I don't work out then, because then I usually, will have dinner, and then I walk the dog, and then I walk the dog usually after I work out as a cool down. And then I eat dinner. So if I don't want to come home and get dinner ready and eat dinner and then, then eat and then work out. So it's just, that doesn't work out. Yeah.
Thank you.
So for me, I get up at like 7. I have my lemon water with the cayenne or whatever. And then I usually have, once that's done, that's usually when I check into the group. So you'll see all my comments happen between like 7 and 7:30, because that's when I check in on the bod group. And then around 7:30, 7:45, I have like one piece of toast with like avocado or peanut butter and my coffee. And then usually by like 8:15, I can do my workout. I make my kids their breakfast. They eat breakfast while I work out. And by 9, I can start my work day. Leia, she always like wants to be around me. So usually if I'm working out, she just comes and she just plays beside me and around me. Sometimes she joins in, but she knows now I'm like, sometimes she'll be like, are you done your workout yet? I'm like, almost. And she just like, sometimes she'll join it, but now she's getting used to it. And again, my workouts that's why I do the shorter programs, because that's her capacity. Sometimes I have to stop it to put her on the toilet, whatever. But that's what I try to do, be done by around 9, so then I can, because I do work from home, so I do have to do some work as well. And then the girls are now doing online learning, so they start at 9:15. So I try to get us all on our computers working for 9:15.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, hopefully that helps. Everybody kind of has their own, we gotta kind of figure it out. But I love the idea, Candace, of like writing it in your schedule. I say that to people often, is like, make it an appointment like you would to go to the doctor or the dentist, and make it happen. Like I said, if you're at least doing it 4 days out of your 7, you're winning, because you're doing more than you're not. So
I will say, when I kind of started getting back into my fitness a few years ago, I actually posted, you know, the little like calendar that they have for each program. I put it on my fridge so that everybody could see it. And then I felt like it was more important that I did it, because
and you
I'm like,
cross
oh,
it
I
off as
have
you
to
go.
do it so that I can, like, so that everybody knows I've done it. Like, then I have to go do it. And they know that that's something that I have to go do. But that was just like, I don't know, I think my own mental game.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, awesome. Any other questions or comments at all? Okay, so I'm gonna end the recording before I say goodbye. I'm trying to, like, I don't usually record, so I'm trying to see, oh, here you go, stop recording. Okay.